Hey guys, this is Jordan from Destroying the Illusion, and in this quick report, I'm going to summarize for you some true history in regards to Antarctica. This helps connect a lot of dots as to what's going on right now. I'm going to talk to you about something called Operation Highjump, Operation Paperclip, how Antarctica fits into the UFO issue, certain secret Nazi bases in Antarctica, and I'm actually going to give you some photographic evidence of these Nazi bases, pictures of Antarctica. So first and foremost, I want to cover this article by Justin at Stillness in the Storm because he gives a great overview of what's called the partial disclosure scenario. And I talk about this quite often. And I know I do because it's very important to understand so we aren't duped as a society by the powers that be yet again. Now let me explain. Corey Goode and David Wilcock, right? Corey Goode's the secret space program whistleblower, and Wilcock is the New York Times bestselling author that's working with him, have discussed a partial disclosure agenda that is actively being pushed at the moment, and it involves the release of only some of the whole truth that has been intentionally withheld from the public for centuries, such as crimes against humanity, the child trafficking, the pedophilia, the existence of extraterrestrial presence, all kinds of other stuff. Under the partial disclosure plan, certain aspects of what's been hidden from humanity will be revealed to satisfy the growing demand for truth within the awakening masses, but the full data will remain hidden for at least 100 years, ensuring that the most damning information that implicates the criminal elements within society escape the public's justice. So essentially, what's partial disclosure shaping up to look like? That involves the admission of some wrongdoing, right? The outing and punishing of mid-level people, right? We're seeing this happen within the pedophile circles right now, right? John Podesta and the Clinton campaign are being distanced from by certain other elements within the deep state because certain people are going to be shoved under the bus. So the cosmic aspect of the plan appears to involve three key revelations. A formal public disclosure of what's called the lower level operations of the secret space program, the unveiling of ancient high-tech ruins in Antarctica that have been newly excavated to prove Atlantis was very real and far more advanced than we thought, and the revealing of extremely ancient ruins within the Earth and throughout our solar system. Although this sounds pretty and would be a great leap forward, right? People would be absolutely astonished by finding out, oh my God, Atlantis is real and there's a secret space program. But it would still leave gaping holes in our understanding. They're going to try to pull this partial disclosure bait and switch to try and distract everybody from what's going on in regards to the deep, nasty stuff, the pedophilia, the Pizzagate stuff all coming to light. So this is essentially what the partial disclosure is and how Antarctica fits into it. There are ancient ruins down there. Now, I want to discuss more of the recent history of Antarctica. And I'm going to do that by giving you commentary on this article that I wrote myself, shameless self-promotion, entitled Secrecy and Mysteries Challenge the Official History of Antarctica. This is going to describe what's actually gone on over the past about 100 years and really piece together some dots regarding this secret space program and how it began. Okay. Now, in late 1946, Admiral Richard E. Byrd led troops from the Allied countries on a mission to Antarctica called Operation Highjump. This mission involved 5,000 sailors and a huge battalion. It was actually fully financed by the U.S. Navy. Weird for what was officially called a research or a scientific expedition. The part of the story that is seldom told outside official circles is what Byrd encountered there. While conventional knowledge of World War II states that Germany was defeated in Europe, which is true, they were, right? The Americans out-industrialized them. They had more industrial might, so they had more boots on the ground, able to defeat Germany there. Little is often said about the Nazi escape to the south and their bases in Antarctica. The Allied powers won World War II on the ground, but the Nazis had far more advanced technology because the Nazis believed that they would win wars not due to quantitative power, but qualitative power. Quality was much better than quantity. So they had an obsession with looking for deep occult knowledge and research that would help them win the war. And they found that their secret societies, the German secret societies, specifically the Thule and Vril societies, found this occult knowledge. They got it through channelings by a woman named Maria Orsich, and they got it through technology exchanges with malevolent extraterrestrial races. Okay? as if this wasn't already off the wall. Yes, that's what supposedly, allegedly, and probably happened. It was that the Germans were able to obtain this highly advanced technology, and they searched far and wide for it. They searched in the Himalayas, I believe, and encountered a tall white extraterrestrial race there that they were able to get some information from. They channeled it. They got this occult knowledge, and the occult knowledge. I want to talk a little bit and actually give you some real physics and real science behind how all of this works, right? I often see people in the disclosure community, they talk about all this stuff, but they don't give us the nitty gritty. I like the nitty gritty. So this anti-gravity technology and science that they found actually dealt with the alchemical properties of mercury. And, right, as was stated in the ancient Vedic scriptures, and the properties associated with mercury is that when you counter rotate mercury and then shock it with very high voltages, it'll actually give off gravity nullifying properties. So they knew that this research was real, right? It was in ancient scriptures. The Vimanas of ancient Vedic texts used this technology, and they wanted it, and they found it. And they created what's known as the Bellcraft with these advanced propulsion systems. And many of these Bellcraft were harbored in their secret bases in Antarctica, where also they knew that ancient civilizations had existed. So that's why they went down to Antarctica, was to build out where there were already ancient civilizations with this new magic technology they found. The Americans tried to go what could you say? Americans tried to go down, attack the Nazis. They knew were in Antarctica. Nazis kicked their ass. Admiral Byrd retreated, said, "It is necessary for the USA to take defensive actions against enemy air fighters which come from the polar regions." And they were attacked by fighters that are able to fly from pole to pole at an incredible speed. So the Americans were beat back. And then in the years after World War II, many Nazi scientists immigrated into America to work within the medicine, aerospace, and intelligence corporations. This is Operation Paperclip. So because the Nazis had this super advanced technology, they were able to infiltrate America. They basically tied their hands behind their back and said, "We're going to infiltrate you because we're so much more advanced than you." And they did. The Nazis never lost World War II. They went underground and they infiltrated into America, right? These secret societies work with infiltration, as John F. Kennedy so stated. So that's what occurred. And that's the reality of the situation. That's how the UFO issue ties into Operation Paperclip and Operation Highjump, is that the Nazis had bases in World War II that they know was down there, or they went and built down there. Now, I want to show you that satellite imagery that I was talking about, and that comes from this article I stumbled upon on the Mars Anomaly Research website. This was written by a man named Joseph A. Skipper. I believe he's passed away since. So this, I couldn't really find too much hard evidence on Nazi bases in World War II, but I found this, and it's very interesting because he actually outlays some Google Earth research that he did in 2010. Keep that date in mind, 2010. Evidence site of Antarctica, bam. South America is about over here, so this is almost like Indian Ocean, but evidence site right here. And he zooms in, and he actually finds these areas that Google Earth mapped out where some of it is obfuscated, but some of it has a higher resolution. And there's certain things that have been almost left out, like this, a nice big hole in the rocks. And it's a legit, 2010 picture taken on Google Earth of anomalies. Like, why is this hole in there? What could that be? Is it a entrance to a Nazi base? Could be, right? Look at this one. Look at the shape of that. Very similar to a Bellcraft. So if we had a disc, a certain shaped disc or bell that had to fly in there, this could very well have been made for that specific shape. And in this article, it's very interesting that he states, where does he state it? Down here. He basically says, right, someone allowed us to see these sites, but anything more than that is apparently taboo. Keep in mind, in the compartmentalization of the secret space programs, people could literally have no idea the grand scheme of things and what they're really doing there. So people that begin to question and find out what they're really involved in these secret space projects, many of them don't like it. Many of them want to blow the whistle, but they can't. So instead of going public and blowing the whole whistle, they try to leak certain things out into the public domain to try and hope people will pick up on, which I think happened here. I think we saw somebody on Google Earth, or it could have just been, right? Or what I mean is that I think somebody within, the projects allowed this come out to light for people like Joseph Skinner and myself to pick up on. So what's very interesting to note, and what I want to cover lastly here is, boom, this nice little Google Earth. So I took these coordinates from this, right? Like 66 degrees, 99 degrees. It's either a synchronicity or the Cabal wanted to put this opening at a certain, symbolic numbered location. They like their numbers. Anyway, I went to check it out on recent Google Earth. I just downloaded Google Earth just to look at this. And check it out. Opening. Boom. Right? So people actually, have wanted this. People logged this info, but then look at it on Google Earth here. It's actually smudged out now. So this image is 2012. That's that one that got smudged out, right? And over here we have this opening that's now smudged out. It's that one. That one's not quite as smudged out, but it looked like they went over and messed up a little bit. So it looks like back in 2010, these were this is actually how Google Earth looked, and then somebody tried to sneak these pictures out to the public. They found out that these pictures were tried to sneak out to the public, and they kind of airbrushed over them. But luckily, people have logged these pictures since then and keep them up online. So anyway, do some looking, right? You guys can check out Antarctica on your own. I don't really have that much time to go over this giant continent, but there's a lot of little anomalies if you really start to look. It's out there, right? This stuff is out there. You just have to open yourself up to search for it, and the universe will give you the avenues if you so desire. So anyway, that's a basic overview of how this partial disclosure would work, right? This is some reality of what's gone on in Antarctica in the past 100 years. Operation Highjump, Operation Paperclip. It all fits in together, right? All these pieces connect. And remember, there are ancient civilizations that they are uncovering there right now that they want to try and pull in a partial disclosure psyop. So we have to brush ourselves up on the true history of Antarctica, what's really going on, what's really there, and what the powers that be want to try and pull. So we are not bait and switched. So hope you enjoyed that little report. Hope you enjoyed the little satellite images I found. Just cool little anomalies you can look into on your own. I'll link this article, Mars Anomaly Research, down below in my the article I wrote as well, so you can check out a little more about it. So, I will also link one more thing. It's a Russian documentary called Men in Black. But this Russian documentary is probably one of the best overviews I've seen on Operation Highjump and the UFO connection and secret Nazi bases. And it discusses all that channeling, all that fun stuff. So I'll link that down below as well. Anyway, thanks for watching this report, you guys. Operation Highjump, Operation Paperclip, and weird stuff in Antarctica. See you next time.